Thursday, the 20th of October. What's up, Shells?
Well, we're there. Good morning, Bridge Nation. We're there.
Yes, I am. So we're ready to tell the Bridge Nation what's ahead of us for today.
Yeah, but so it's look like our vibes in the Richies, because right now at 7 a.m. we have Floyd Green, Minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister, and he'll be talking to us about Operation Birthright, and he'll also be giving us an update on NIDS, so that should be very interesting. Of course, at 7:45, we're gonna fly out and check in with our brother Robbo Ranks on the beat, London 103.6 FM. It's all about that UK connection. Of course, around 9 a.m. we have recording artist Nigel Hector. Should be very interesting to find out what he has to say about his journey. And of course, at 9:15, it's all about constitutionally speaking. But in between, hold on, it's Friday's Eve.
Yeah.
You see when the week start a certain way, when you miss out Monday, you forget what it is. I mean, but yeah, happy Friday's Eve, Bridge Nation. We're going to keep the vibes going. So after we'll check in with our peeps in the streets, see how traffic stay, how the roads stay. A very interesting fact coming from WTF. That's what the fact. I don't know what a sea cucumber is, but apparently they fight with a part of their body that it would be weird if human beings could do it. That's all I can say. So stay tuned for that. We got the big belly people. Of course, at 6:30 we have our first update, followed by the proverb of the day. I know the weekend is right around the corner, but someone's gonna get on your nerves today. So see if you can relate to our pet peeve. For my health conscious peeps, you know the vibes. For the love of health is coming your way. And for the weekend, I got an interesting binge or cringe, something to make your people think. So stay tuned for that one. Of course, at 7:30, it's all about trying to win that gift package in the Secret Sound game.
All right. Did I tell you I watched Bullet Train?
Yeah, how you think?
Not bad, but could be better.
I told you.
Yeah, in all seriousness. Almost fell asleep.
You see that?
And interestingly, toward the end.
See that?
So it was kind of not
Really?
so yeah.
Man. One of them weird shows.
Yeah,
Weird.
And we're moving to our next feature right away. That is WTF.
What? The fact.
Here's an interesting fact for you.
All right, here we're going. So sea cucumbers, well, some sea cucumbers fight with their guts. Literally. You know what I mean? So when threatened, they'll shoot out their internal organs. Which happen to be poisonous to predators. They'll sometimes get rid of their entire digestive systems
And remain alive?
Yeah, looks up, but the organs grow back. So they got themselves. Oh, that's what a sea cucumber look like.
Give your respect.
No, I know. And then watch, and then somebody out there be like, "What sea cucumber tastes nice?"
No,
Really? Somebody. Hey, I don't
Spit-
trust mankind.
they-
Mankind always find all sort of things for shell and find as delicacy.
Yo, let me tell you something, man. For them to spill their guts,
Literally.
yeah, literally, to repel attackers. That is something. That is quite something. But then they are aware of the fact that they'll grow back. Wonder how long it would take to grow back, though.
I don't know.
Man, oh man.
I wonder if it's painful too.
Yeah, it's on a way.
It's a message.
I wouldn't be the one to disturb a sea cucumber anytime soon.
It's
Hey,
a message, you know.
I'm glad.
I mean,
I'm not hearing you, sir.
So a message. Somebody rush me. I'm just say, yo, spill no guts, pound, yo.
Mine, you turned me in a sea cucumber.
Well, I'm glad for this fact, because if I'm going to a fancy restaurant, I'm going to sit up on the menu. I'm going to say, okay, mankind gone too far now.
Where's the exit?
Yeah, out the building.
Okay, that's WTF.
What? The fact.
Some sea cucumbers fight with their guts, literally. All right, so it's time for update. I think by now Shells has chosen one.
Yeah, man. All right, so, I'm going to talk about my virgin. He's in a spot of bother right now. I'm talking about Kanye West, or as he's known nowadays, it's just Ye. Now, 50 Cent, a man who is not afraid to shy away from certain things, especially when we're talking about people going off on social media. He had something to say, and 50 Cent says that Ye is not crazy. Interesting. He said it's not crazy. And he said also he went on to talk a little bit about Diddy's dating of a lady named Daphne Joy. Now 50 Cent shared his thoughts on Kanye West's recent meltdown on Diddy's relationship with his baby mother Daphne Joy. Oh, Daphne Joy is 50's baby mother? Oh, this is spicy. Okay. Now, 50 Cent has a very reserved position when speaking on the recent issues surrounding Kanye West. The rapper is known for trolling online, as we all know, but while speaking on the recent anti-Semitic remarks by Kanye West, he was firm as he spoke on West dealing with his issues. Now, Kanye West's recent statement where he claimed that he is a Jew and that black people are the real Jews, and then later a tweet threatening that he was going to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people, has led to Instagram and Twitter restricting his account. The rapper is now seeking to buy Parler, which is Parler, a right-wing based platform where he can speak freely. 50, is just seemingly unsurprisingly one of the persons in the entertainment industry who's showing a bit of sympathy, unlike what he's receiving, from people like Ice Cube, Diddy, who are members of the Jewish community. As a matter of fact, they've been, them they get to yeah kind of hard still. I'm not gonna lie. But 50 went on to say he's in a dangerous area. I forgive him for the things he said because I've already identified with something that going on that I don't understand now. It's become his new mannerisms and his behaviors consistently with just doing things like even the White Lives Matter thing. Even the original Trump support thing was a little out there for me. You know what I'm saying? But everybody looks at things, they navigate things differently. One week it's I don't want my kids raised by a white woman, and then the next week it's I want to go home. So you don't know exactly what he means. And what 50 also went on to say he finds some of Kanye's posts quite entertaining. The rapper also touched on various topics, including his friend Eminem's legacy, and even Nicki Minaj going crazy on a fellow rapper named Lato last week. He went on also to say, is there something in the water in Jamaica? In Jamaica, Queens. This is asked by Ebro, who was having a discussion with him. And 50 just went on by saying, she's been bumped around too. You looked at it and said it's a female version of me. So 50 is just a man who's just always just handing off his comments and so on and so forth. But I never know that Diddy was dating Daphne Joy.
Oh,
I never know this. I never Karish. I never Karish. Or Diddy I did everybody.
Prepare for other surprises as you go along.
Oh no!
But I have a story that I wanted just to continue on that
sure.
Kanye West matter. He made an appearance and he made the statement that went viral and upset a lot of people on a show that was hosted, I think, by Nori.
Drink Champs.
Yeah,
Drink Champs,
right. And when he actually said the comment that he made was that he was suggesting that George Floyd was killed by a fentanyl overdose, despite a medical examiner's testimony that fentanyl was not the direct cause of Floyd's death, only a contributing factor when he died after being knelt on by a police officer. So Nori has now come out and basically is distancing himself from those comments.
Sure.
He basically says the comments that Kanye made were done in the first 5 minutes of the program. And listen to this. Kanye went on to tell the producer that if they stopped filming, he was going to walk out.
No.
Yeah, so he kind of threatened them to keep him there.
I watch pieces.
So he could actually say more of what has gotten him into a lot of problems. He now says, Nori that is, I apologize to the George Floyd family. I apologize to anybody that was hurt by Kanye West's comments. So he's kind of dragging other people into the scenario now.
I think Drink Champs, Nori, DJ EFN, I think they kind of underestimated the situation, because before he went on Drink Champs, Kanye that is, he had a series of other shows that he's been on, and people have been having to withdraw those shows, saying, hey, look, we can't show this anymore because of what he's been saying.
Right.
So I'm thinking because Nori's probably saying, either he's because he's friends with Ye and the culture, maybe they could tame him. But
it didn't happen that way at all. And the longer he took to actually come out and say something is the more people are getting angry with Nori himself. On the local scene, Shells, Chanel Muir would have stated that she wants to get baptized and enter the world of Christendom. But now she's saying, I'm not leaving dancehall for Christianity. In a lengthy statement on Instagram, the Yamabella artist clarified her statements that she was going to complete her contractual obligations for concert appearances from October 2022 to February 2023 before taking that bold step of becoming a better Christian. A better Christian is what she says. And she says, I'm not leaving dancehall for Christianity because I've always been a Christian. A sinner, yes, but aren't we all? I'm leaving to do God's work to find peace, happiness, and salvation, she says, because this world cannot offer me that. My reward is not in the hands of men. And she quotes Ephesians 6 verse 12. She says, I wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, in the quotation from Chenille Muir. What I can tell you is that I watched a piece of an interview with the manager. I think his name is Richard Flores, and Mr. Vegas. And he basically stated that he doesn't owe Chenille Muir any money whatsoever.
Okay.
He says she's fully paid up to the last show that he booked for February 25, 2023. But apparently what is causing the problem, obviously, is the fact that Chenille wanted all monies collected by him to be sent to her account, and then she would pay him sort of on the back end.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Vegas himself says he doesn't know that is happening anywhere in the music fraternity. In fact, it seems, based on what I'm gathering, when a 50% deposit comes in, the manager would take his 20%. The booking agent, based on what he was explaining, Richard that is, would take their 10%. That's 30%. So the initial amount that Chenille is going to be getting would be 20%. Of that total amount, and then when she honors the obligation by going to the show, then all of that now that remains would be hers. It didn't seem like something that Mr. Vegas, who was talking with him, was unfamiliar with, and it sounded, based on how Vegas reacted, that is common practice in the industry. Vegas even went on to say he thinks that somebody senior in the industry should really just have a chat with Chenille, and he kept saying to Richard, hey, I think this can be worked out, even if you don't go back as her manager or involved with her booking or anything, but he feels that it's not something that is so monumental that it couldn't be resolved. So let's see what happens over the next couple of days or so.
That sounds correct, though, Richie, honestly. You understand? I mean,
and he says he doesn't owe her one cent. He says he paid her the last amount that was due to her on, I think, the 13th of October. So let's see how it all works out. Yeah, let's see how it all works out. 22 now before the hour of 7 o'clock. That was
Update.
Right now it's time for us to get inside of the proverb of the day.
Full nam done, white motor grung.
One more time.
Full nam done, white motor grung.
Richie, I'm afraid that's not English. I don't know what to say right there.
Nyam. You ain't gonna find nyam. If you're talking proper English.
Yeah.
Foul nyam done, wipe mouth a grung. Grung mean ground.
I'm blank here. I don't know what this
It's
one
not that difficult, really.
Mm-hmm.
But let me just give you the meaning.
Right.
What that is saying is that some people, they tend to show ingratitude for hospitality. So, foul nyam done, wipe mouth a grung. No business about nothing.
Okay.
People tend to show ingratitude for hospitality.
All right.
Yeah?
Okay.
Don't be caught doing that, okay? People are good to you. Be nice to them. And be gracious.
No, you see, I'm not fight old proverbs, you know. But I'm just ask a question. You see, why it's so hard just for just give us? They say you just perfectly explain it. Why not just say that?
No.
Is it just the culture?
Yeah, we have to keep the original format going, man. What do you mean?
I think it's harder. It's harder to come up with these proverbs than this.
It makes people think, though. You know, people tend to think, and they're saying, what I mean, what does that really mean? Yeah.
Okay.
And it keeps them familiar with our dialect.
Yeah. Okay.
And keeps them grounded. Like a fall.
No problem.
Yeah. All right. So that was the proverb of the day. Now then, our pet peeve of the morning.
All right, Bridge Nation. You know the thing. Go. Let's hear this one.
Sigh.
I have to take a side for this one.
Why?
That one hurt me to the core. You know when a woman asks you to tell her the truth, but when I tell her the truth, you still end up turn around and cuss you? Like, that's my biggest pet peeve, right? Because a woman asks me to tell her the truth. I want me to tell her the truth. Jesus Christ, wish me to keep my mouth shut.
Sorry, son.
Yo. So first of all, to that listener, member of the Bridge Nation, you are going to, you want to kick, because watch this. What you expect? Like, because it's the truth, it's not supposed to make the person coast. Like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. So the truth hurts. You can't handle the truth. No, it's not that you can't handle the truth. The truth is the truth. The truth is something much about like. So she can cuss. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we don't know people. Yeah. And but it's a very pop. I like the fact that that's a male who said it, because
that is like a recurring decimal. We've actually heard it before.
That's a very popular deal. It's right here. So that women can't handle
first
the
of
truth.
all, you're not alone.
Yeah.
You have a lot of company in that regard, and do not stop telling the truth.
Yes, it's true.
That is what my advice to you. I mean, keep telling the truth.
But the thing is, like, me don't give myself trouble, and I'm not going to tell a lie. Yes, in some cases, yes, people can't handle the truth, but you really sit down and meds it, Richie. If the truth is something hurtful, you expect them to react. Like, examines are like, if the truth are you, I tell them, say, you're fat. She could just be like, okay, no, you're gonna get cussing, and she could probably ask you why you take so long. You say all sort of things, but yeah, go on to the truth, my G.
Yeah. Simple.
Can't hurt.
All right. You think he's hearing us?
Yeah, man.
All right, he's hearing us. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the pet peeve of the morning.
What them said,
The way said.
the truth shall set you free.
It's supposed to.
It's supposed to. Yeah.
All right. That was the pet peeve, and before that, you heard the proverb of the day. What has happened now is that we're going to be talking, focusing, Shells, on the National Identification Systems NIDS Operation Birthright project. This is a $350,000 project, government project, really intending to address the immediate concerns among Jamaicans who are without birth certificates. And it is reported, I'm being told, that some 200,000 of the nation's citizens do not have legal proof of identity. The Prime Minister, in launching this initiative, said it is imperative that every Jamaican has access to a birth certificate that empowers the state to serve you even better, he said. In other words, he says it gives the state the ability to fulfill your right to the public goods that you're entitled to. So, according to the Prime Minister, it is such a powerful document. And that is what we're focusing this morning. The initiative, we understand, will provide identity registration, support for the birth certificates, especially to needy children and adults without legal and physical identification documents. With a birth certificate in hand, these persons will be better able to access government and business services. But to give us more details on it, we welcome Minister Floyd Green, Minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister. Morning, Minister Green.
Good morning, Richie. Morning to all the listeners.
Thank you so much for joining us. How have you been, Minister?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Always a pleasure to be here.
All right. Always from our perspective as well. Operation Birthright, no doubt, is keeping you fairly busy. Talk to us a little bit more about Operation Birthright and its significance to our nation.
Yes, it's very significant. The reality is that we still have citizens of Jamaica who do not have birth certificate documents. And while the RGD does have a process through which people who do not have birth certificates can go and apply for a birth certificate, a lot of the persons who need it are unable to afford it. So, Capri did a study some years ago, Richie, and as a part of looking at the issue of identification, they indicated that about 4% of our population do not have a birth certificate, which is a subset of the 200,000 that don't have identification. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to take a holistic view and to ensure that we were trying to better serve our citizens. So we do realize that it is more significant among some of our most vulnerable populations. You mentioned some of our children in lower socioeconomic profiles, and also among our disabled community. In that same study, Capri noted that only 15% of the persons who registered with the Jamaica Council for Disability had a birth certificate. So it's even more severe when you look at our disabled population. So we decided through National Identification System and the RGD that we should have a comprehensive strategy to find those people and to give them an opportunity to get a birth certificate. So that is Operation Birthright. And it's the first that the government is really taking a comprehensive approach to get to those people.
Sort of tie in the relationship with NIDS, this program, and how it will assist really in the rollout of NIDS.
Well, the birth certificate is your foundation document. So I think some of us take it for granted how many systems we are unable to access without a birth certificate. And clearly, one of the things that you're unable to get is identification. So for almost all our pieces of identification that we already have, you still need a birth certificate as your starting point, right? To go into school, you need a birth certificate. To access social services, you need a birth certificate. So what this will do is provide a foundational document that will allow Jamaicans to access these services, but also to access their national identification card. Because one of the things that people will have to come in with, because remember, this will be the proof of your identity, is your birth certificate, which we will take your photograph, your fingerprint, and that will go together towards proving who you are.
Greetings, Minister Green. Shells here.
How are you doing, Shells?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you. Are you able to speak on, the progress of NIDS and when it will take effect?
Yeah. Well, let me just finish your Birthright in case people wondering how to access it. So, you can go to the Registrar's General office and tell them that you're interested in Operation Birthright. There's a form, or if you're able to, you can download the form from www.nids facts, F-A-C-T-S, that's nidsfacts.com. And you can download the form and you can submit the form. Now, you have to be recommended because it is a program that you qualify for the program if you are earning $37,000 a month or less.
Okay.
Right? So it is really for our most vulnerable. But a wide array of people can recommend you, whether they are justice of the peace, your MP, your pastor, your doctor, your dentist. So if you look at the file, you will see, if you look at the form, you will see all the people who can recommend, including people from the Ministry of Labour, NGO groups.
Members of Parliament?
Yes, members of Parliament. And all members of Parliament already have nomination forms. So if you're interested, you can also go and see your member of Parliament. So in terms of where we are for the National Identification System, things are progressing. We have completed our card personalization site. So that is what will print the cards and put on the personal information. We have now completed our first enrollment center, which will be at the Jamaica Central Sorting Office, part of the post office. And you would have heard that what we've decided to do, instead of to use new resources to build new buildings for enrollment for the National Identification System, we're working with the post office. Good buildings all over Jamaica, but underutilized now as people have transitioned from physical mail to electronic mail. So, for example, at the Central Sorting Office, not only have we put our enrollment center there, but we have been able to work with the post office there to ensure that they get high-speed internet, that they have a new banquet hall where people come in to interact with the staff. So it's a win-win relationship. So that has been finished. What we're doing now is we're working to finish the software. There will be a pre-enrollment software. So when you are to enroll for the NIDS, you will be able to go on that to put in most of your information to make an appointment. For those who can do it, so it will make it easier when you go to the enrollment site. We are working on the regulations. So we've gotten back comments from the AGs, and we are performing those regulations to send back to the AGs. So hopefully, before the end of this month, we'll be able to share those regulations for further comment from the public. And we have targeted the end of this year to start a pilot. So, we are going to start with a pilot. This is a massive project. So we want to get in a group of people, have them go through the system, do our vetting, do our enrollment, take the pictures and ensure that we have everything operating to the most efficient manner before we roll out island-wide, which is scheduled for next year, second quarter.
Okay. What's been the reception like, and what communities have you targeted so far?
So, the reception overall, well, one, for Operation Birthright has been very good. We've had A lot of people reaching out to us, some of especially more elderly persons and our disabled community have been reaching out, and have started to fill up and send in forms. What I do find, and I'm happy for this, is that people are reaching out on other people's behalf.
Oh,
all right.
good.
Yeah. So it really gives you a good feeling when people call and say they're not calling for themselves, but they know old lady in the community or they're related, their nephew, things of that nature. So that has been good. And we have been out in the field, Richie, doing some data work to see how people are feeling about national identification system. And thus far, the preliminary information that I have gotten is that, people recognize now that we need this form of identification to really take advantage of all that the modern world has to offer.
But Minister, there are many persons I know who are still somewhat concerned about the safety of NIDS. What would you like to say to them this morning?
So one, this is going to be by far our safest identification system and our safest piece of identification, whether you're talking about the card or you're talking about the background. This is going to be a built-for-purpose system. All the other IDs, we've built it for a specific purpose, but we've used it as a national ID, which is not the way to go about it because you have to ensure that it has the proper safeguards. So one, let me take the national identification card. Probably our most secure card now has 12 security features. Our national identification card will have 26 security features. But also on the back end, there are a lot of firsts. So Richie, when you enter your information into the system, you go and you are registering. That information is encrypted on entry. What it means is that after the person puts in the information and presses enter, they are unable to access that information unless they have special permission. They have to be authorized because it will go in an ineligible form. So I couldn't just run and go look at the computer and to see what is your information. And the other thing is that everybody who accesses your information, one, you have to authorize it, and two, you are notified. Think about the systems we have now. When you present your ID and somebody goes to verify, you're not told, you don't know. So you can't keep a track to ensure there's no unauthorized access. In the national identification system, there's a track to ensure that all the access is authorized and that you are informed by way of something like a text message to say that such and such bank has checked your information to authorize your identity, and you could quickly say if that was something that you authorized or not. So when I say it's by far the safest design system that we have, it is, and clearly we've not looked at just Jamaica safety, we've looked at first world standards. It is a international acceptable card, so we've looked at what's the best practice in places like Estonia. We've looked at some of the challenges they've had in other jurisdictions, and we've worked that into our system. So, it's something we could talk about all day, but
I know.
It's safe.
You've given us a lot of information and very useful information at that. As it relates to Operation Birthright, I just wanted to close out by reminding that eligible persons can be recommended for the undocumented registration program by several institutions and personnel. And I'll just list a few of them here again. Minister, Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, senior officials of the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, members of Parliament, justices of the peace, and public officers. Recommendations can also be made by a medical practitioner, minister of religion, police officer, parish councillor, dental surgeon, official representative of the Missionaries of the Poor, chief executive officer, coordinator of a registered civil society organization, and head of the program of advancement through health and education path. And there are still a few others, I suspect, Minister.
Yes, absolutely, there are. Yeah.
But we thank you for coming on the program and sharing all those details with us, and we hope that this will continue to be a smooth Operation Birthright.
Thank you. Anytime. All right.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. That was a chat there with Minister without Portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, Minister Floyd Green. All right, sweeten the pot. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I don't know how much it would help, but the clue today, Bridge Nation, is iron.
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 I-R-O-N. Iron. Play the song again and let me see how that fits in with iron. Oh. You know, me feel like me just figure it out. Yeah, me just feel like that clue to help me.
You alone.
Yeah.
Me feel like that clue to help me. You want your man, answer?
What that?
Can't say it on the radio.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry. Yeah, real thing. Forgot for a second.
So, yeah, I think that clue helped me. I hope it helped you, Bridge Nation. If it did, give us a call.
That's right, at 876-676-4996. Okay, well.
Yeah, and of course, 876-551-5782.
Use the WhatsApp
You
line.
can call us on the WhatsApp number. By the way, while we're having fun, we can tell you that the UK Prime Minister Liz Truss is expected to make a statement any minute. I suspect that I know what she might be saying in that statement.
Robo Noto.
Robo is coming up in a short while from now with the UK connection. We've got to be talking about that. But let's get to the phone lines for the Secret Sound game. Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Good morning, Richie B.
Ian in the building.
Ian, what go on?
Sheriff, good morning.
Morning, sir.
You know, I didn't know that you are a Fortis.
Yes, sir. Fortis Keller, sir.
That's like myself.
Give thanks, man. All right. Yeah, just give you the gift package, no? You know for answer.
Yeah. Well, I think it's somebody cleaning the surface of an iron, an electric iron.
Somebody cleaning the surface of an electric iron.
Of an electric iron.
Here, Jeff. This is my top out, you know. You want to change anything about that?
No. I'm not changing it.
No. I want their Fortis to Fortis. I go work this morning. It look like an out for gang it up, you know. Look at so I go on. How shells I go deal with this?
Boy. They want to hurt.
You know Sam couldn't avoid it, Ian. Big up yourself. Okay, so we can announce, ladies and gentlemen, that it was a very, very short statement.
Wow, that was quick.
And the UK Prime Minister, Liz Truss, has resigned.
Wow.
You heard?
That was quick.
That is a breaking story. We expected it. We saw it coming. How many days did I say, will she last 10 days? Well, now she has tendered her resignation.
Wow.
It was too much for her. We have a story that I was planning to carry later on about more of the Tory members who have actually resigned. And I think another 13 or so would have resigned today.
Oh,
so
wow.
she would definitely so. Sounds familiar? Bojo had the same problem. My God, we're going to talk about that some more. But right now, let's get back to the telephone lines. We've got to get a winner. Good morning. Welcome to the Secret Sound Game. You're on. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, turn the radio off in the background. What is your answer?
I think it's like when you're ironing, and you like you have the iron with the spray iron with it, and you're spraying like starch, you spray starch, and then
spray starch.
And you're using the iron sprinkling the
clothes.
water.
What is your name?
Patricia.
Where are you calling from, Pat?
Kingston.
Kingston. All right, we got to treat our seniors well. Let's do this. I could hear the reluctance. Thank you very much, Pat. Have a good day. That's not correct. Let's go in one more time. The phone lines are all loaded up. Good morning. Welcome.
Hi, morning.
Hi.
Morning.
Welcome. How you doing?
I'm alright. How are you?
We're doing
great.
well. Who is this?
This is Chantal from Portmore.
Right.
Chantel?
From Portmore.
Okay.
My place. All right.
Sorry, let me get it again. Is this Chantel?
Chantal.
Chantal, man.
Oh, Chantal.
No, Chantel, man, no, man.
Okay. I just want to be sure. But what was interesting is the way she kept saying from Portmore. All right, Chantal, what is your answer?
I think it's someone cleaning their shoes, like they're rubbing off mud or some form of, like dirt or something off your shoes. Maybe on a metal surface or some sort of surface. But cleaning something off your shoes.
Oh, I
Like
see.
that rubbing motion you make when you rub something off your shoes.
I got you,
I
Chantal.
love that essay there.
Will the gift
Package.
be heading to
Portmore.
Let's find out right now. Not today. Not today. Let's go in one more time. 876-676-4996. That's the telephone number you need to call to participate in our Secret Sound game. The last time we were playing this week, you don't want this prize to go over into next week. Call us now. Good morning. You're on the air. Hello. They're getting a little shy.
Hello.
Yes, good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, hi, my lady.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
We're well. Who's calling?
Lorraine.
Marie?
Lorraine.
Oh,
hi,
Marine. Okay,
Lorraine
Marie.
with an L.
Hi, Lorraine.
Oh,
Good morning.
Lorraine. Okay, cool. Where are you calling from, Lorraine?
Calling from Portmore.
Portmore again.
I love it.
Well, Chantal didn't do it. You better do it for your Sunshine City. What's your answer?
I'm thinking of using the steam feature on the iron.
Using the steam feature on the iron. And that is what would make this sound, you think?
Yes, I think so.
This is the sound she's describing. Well, that's Lorraine, and I know that Shells has a soft spot once you're calling from Portmore.
That's true.
But let's see what will happen right now. Yo.
Oh, Shell, Lorraine. Good try.
You know something? This is because of the last day where I played the Secret Sound game this week.
What about it?
I'm going to extend it a little bit.
No problem.
And see if we can find our winner, because we're really... Remember, the clue is...
Iron.
And you've heard the sound many times. Good morning, you're on the air. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Man from St. Bess.
Yeah, man. He's here, man.
Original.
I hear the bridge at St. Bess now. When I hear the bridge, me just time it on the time I make a call. You see it?
Well, you want no. Remember, it's not on the 99.1, You have to sometimes move it to 99.3, or 0.5, or 0.7, or 0.9.
Time I hear still. I have more time.
So just move it down the line, man, and you're good to go. Sin?
All right.
What is
the sound again? Mid-span,
You want to hear the sound again?
Yeah, man.
I remember we gave you a clue this morning, which is iron. Listen to the sound, brethren.
Iron.
Accompanying that sound is the clue, iron. What is your answer, big boss?
Well, it sounds like when you iron the clothes and you hear that sound there.
Give me something more than that, man. Explain yourself a little better than that.
You know, when you iron the clothes, man, and you hear that sound when you iron hot and
Well, man from St. Bess, all like them clothes there burn up, cause Good try, sir.
Sorry, son. All right, let's take our final call. It's 19 before 8 o'clock. Good morning. Welcome to the Secret Sound game. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Richie.
Yes, bro.
I am thinking that you're ironing the clothes and have to resort to brushing something from the clothes.
Oh,
so, you brush it out, then you start ironing again.
Joseph?
Yeah.
So you're ironing the clothes.
Yeah.
But you realize there's a spot or something on it.
That's over there.
And so you have to sort of brush it off.
Indeed.
And then go back to ironing.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, listen, man. If you had won this morning, you'd have made the news like Liz Truss, who has just resigned in the UK. Are you in the news or are you not? Let's find out. Well, Joseph is neither in the know nor in the news. John or Joe. So go.
Try.
Yeah. All right, that's all the time we were allotted this morning for the Secret Sound game. We tried our best. Took several calls. Ian, Patricia, Chantal, Lorraine, man from St. Bess, and of course Joe, but nobody got it. So the Secret Sound game rolls over into next week with the same sound. And remember, there's a clue that you're taking with you while you contemplate for the next few days. And that clue is
iron.
We'll be ready, willing, and able to give you that gift
package
next Monday at 7:30 a.m. Be a part of the experience right here on Top of the Bridge.
Up and go.
And we say good morning to Robo. Robo!
Connect.
Boom, bang.
I'm connecting with my public, unlike Lizzie. We don't trust.
That's what
didn't I want to say good morning, but didn't I say this to you about 3 weeks ago, Richie?
Yeah,
we had conversations about the new Prime Minister of the UK, and I said she'll be gone in days.
Yeah.
She is
She went a
and
little
was
past the 10 days.
completely. No, she's useless.
Yeah.
She was useless. She was just useless. But this is the way politics is going. It's about trying to feed the egos of political party members and not actually as they say that. I love that saying. They don't read the room. We didn't need another rhetoric speaking, right wing leaning. I'm gonna get out immigrants and all that. Nah, we don't need that. That's not what's required. Money is what is required. You gotta start talking about the ching.
Yeah,
that's what these people love in this country.
The pound needs to regain its powerful value.
The moment you start telling the Englishman his pound is going up the river, Thames are not coming back. Come on, Richie. We know what happens next, man. Trouble.
Yeah, big time.
Trouble was at our foot from then. And it was only a matter of time. And I predicted Friday morning to Dubmaster Chris the other day. We were talking about because, you know, we play music. We like talk about Wagwan.
Right.
I said, she'll be gone by Friday.
Oh, you did say that?
Yeah, I said Friday.
Well, I tell you,
she's gone today. But,
when I got up this morning and I saw this story about, I think, 13 other Tory MPs calling for her to resign, I was saying, I suspect that before the day is out, we might be getting an announcement from her. And then we saw it pop up on the screen that she's set to speak. And within a few seconds, she was already gone. She had already given her speech, turned her back, and moved on.
It was the quickest resignation speech ever. Quick. And I don't know if you saw, if you managed to see when they do the question time in Parliament. And I don't know, but this Keir Starmer, Sir Keir Starmer, who's the opposition, he has got lyrics. That's he said, man, a DJ, because he done a thing where he listed all the things she said she was going to do, and then he said, gone. Your plans of cutting the tax 45% gone. Your plans of bankers bonus, and every time he said gone, the crowd, the baying politician were going, gone. He had the whole of the parliamentary MPs going, gone.
Wow.
And they act like idiots in
echoing.
Parliament.
Yeah.
They were just saying, gone. 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 He goes,
and even people that she appointed were removing some of the things that she had announced herself that she wanted to accomplish.
So she said, your chancellor and your friend, gone. He said, for God's sake, when are you going? That was it. And I knew after that embarrassment on such a high stage, bro, you have no chance. There's no way you come back from those things.
She was at the helm for just a little over a month, right?
Yes, I remember she if you said, yes, technically over a month, but if you take in the few days which she was allowed off because of the Queen, so there was at least 14 days she was inactive for 14 days. So it's even shorter than a month, my brother. 3 weeks.
Yeah. She really just warmed that the seat that she was in. Really just warmed it, literally.
Not even warm yet.
I wonder if it's already impacting the pound. I expect that the pound is going to immediately start seeing some its value going up.
I think it will, because what people are looking for, especially money people, they look for stability. Where can you dump your hard-earned dollars, yens? You dump it in the UK market, because it has been. Even me, without my fiscal knowledge, I know that it's a safe place to put your money. I mean, we've got troubles all over the world, but people have long since known, like the UK, the Chinese, the Japanese, it's stability. It's like a stable place to put your money. Yeah, money goes up, money goes down, but it's a very stable place. When it becomes unstable, as you said, trouble.
Yeah.
So she's gone.
Oh, boy. Well,
I think there's going to be they'll have an election. And for those people that's listening right now, we're not talking politics. We're talking about things that will affect you also. Decision makers that we all grumble about. How did this person? Why is this person? These are questions we ask every day. Why is this person deciding what happens to my kids? What happens to my housing? What's happening to the nurses' pay? This is why, because we don't pay enough attention about people who encroach in our personal lives, and they dress up in the cloak of a politician. So it's happening right now in front of you. So pay attention, people.
I suggest that likewise. But right now, it is fair to say that the political scene in the UK is in absolute chaos, as we are just a few minutes ago heard where the UK Prime Minister Liz Truss has resigned. I suspect there'll be an election or something going on. There'll be a replacement leader, and we'll keep you in the know. And I'm sure that Rubber Ranks will help us along those lines as well.
I'm sure Rubber Ranks should just give me the job.
I've been saying that for a long time.
Rubber for Prime Minister.
she came out to do the speech earlier on, Richie. She was dodging. The reason why she took so long, she was actually dodging the rain. We've had incessant rain this morning. And I know she's like, hi ladies. I know she was worried about her ear.
I'm trying to interpret all of that. Are you saying that Liz Truss resigns and what, there are showers of blessings?
Well, yes, I think so. And she didn't want the showers of blessing to touch her blonde hair, her blonde mop. She just chose to wait until there was a break in the cloud to stand as they do outside Parliament and babble. Blah, 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 blah.
She did it in a rush. It was a very short resignation presentation.
She checked her weather app and the rain was about to come back down. It's been raining all morning.
I mean, at least Ronaldo waited until the 89th minute before he actually left the venue for the match.
Here we go.
He didn't wait for the full 90 minutes.
But I
Liz did it in
would
70
say
seconds.
About the Ronaldo, there's a lot of obviously chitter chatter about him dissent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leaving.
I think he's going to be punished though.
But there was no more substitution you could have made anyway.
I think didn't they just do 2 or 3 and could have done 5?
No, I'm pretty sure you done your substitutions.
I think they had 2 left, and maybe that is why he was so upset. So he walked away at the 89th minute, left by himself without the team.
I understand that
he should be punished.
You're never bigger than the club, but this is Cristiano Ronaldo, bro.
He should
this
be punished
man should
for that.
be playing football.
Yeah. Well. When you have a 2-0 advantage, it might not even be too necessary to include him, lest the equilibrium of the team is
hang on, you use that same excuse. You use that same excuse when you were pumped by Manchester City.
Yeah.
There's no point in bringing him on. We were 6 goals down.
I can't recall.
Yeah, you use that same excuse. So when you win, you don't bring him on. We don't bring him on. We're 2-0 up. When you're getting pumped, we don't bring him on. We're 6-0 down. When do you use Cristiano Ronaldo? That's the question we're asking the listeners right now on Up and Go.
Every now and then.
That's another important situation.
Every now and then. The UK has no reason to use Liz Truss anymore. The stories on the news portals are saying she resigns after just 44 days on the job. Well, you know something, Robo. Go ahead.
I was about to say, do you know the person she employed as the Home Secretary, the person that makes sure the country is safe and borders are checked? She outspoke last week. She got told off about it. She told to a newspaper, and she said, I would love, you must have heard, I would love for this newspaper to one day splash this headline that the plane that we're going to put all these illegal immigrants, that the plane is finally taking these immigrants to Rwanda. Now, who would, if you're an immigrant and you turn up in the UK illegally or whatever, why would you send them to Rwanda? Why?
Wow.
So she was happy to say that, and she got told off, and then this is what started the whole problem. She fired her. They had an argument yesterday. She fired her. And it just, the whole place
just erupted. Yeah. Well, she gets a chance now to take off her stilettos. And I don't know if she wants to wear Clarks like Lila Ike, but she can at least remove those stilettos for a little while
Richie,
and relax her feet.
Don't go there, Richie. Don't go there. You know you can't go there. Stop that, Richard.
She'd still be wearing a UK brand.
She might feel the women shouting back in the radio. She might feel comfortable in her stilettos cooking. What's the problem, Richie?
Right now, I want to invite our guest. We've been talking about him joining us this morning. He's actually a gentleman who's had quite a bit of successes. But, it's interesting that doctors, it is said, at the Cornwall Regional Hospital told his mom that he, our guest, would not make it outside of her womb.
Wow.
But he was born prematurely at 5 months and 2 weeks, and his mother nearly left him at the hospital. But she didn't, thankfully. The 20-year-old Flanker Montego Bay St. James native, who has been blind virtually all of his life, is currently enrolled at the Stony Brook University in Brooklyn, New York, and he's actually completing a bachelor's degree in history and political science.
Nice.
So he has really made a success of his life, and his great things are ahead, no doubt. Although he is visually impaired, his talent has gained him quite a bit of attention. He can be seen sharing stage with artists like Dexter Daps in some instances and many other popular artists. He's considered a viral sensation with a big voice who is always captivating his listeners every time that he sings. We're very pleased to have him as our guest at this time. Good morning and welcome, Nigel Hector Jr. Welcome. How are you doing?
Oh, it's been splendid. I had a wonderful workout at the gym, a wonderful breakfast, and now I'm right here.
All right. You have done a bit more than we have, in all honesty.
Well, you're chilling on the cold AC, so I honestly envy you right now. Well, America is its own AC right about now.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
what are you looking at temperature-wise?
It's in the low 40s.
Oh, okay.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
41, 42, yeah.
You're in Brooklyn as we speak?
No, I'm actually in Queens.
Oh, okay.
Long Island.
Yeah, man. I got you. I gave the listeners a little indication as to your background, but maybe you'd like to tell us a little bit more about yourself, Nigel.
I don't even know where to start. As you've summarized, I was born premature at about 5 months and 2 weeks. And basically, the doctors had pronounced me a dead man even before I left the womb. Thankfully, I didn't die. I was birthed, back touched deadpan, and I cried out. And they actually discharged my mom. And she almost left me at the hospital. And a nurse came back to her. A nurse came to her and said to her, if you're not going to go upstairs, go see a pink baby.
Pink?
And she turned around. Yeah. Pink baby, I guess. Because I wasn't fully developed.
Yes.
Yeah, so she went back. She saw me. I was incubated for about 3 months, but it wasn't a proper incubation. My eyes, they weren't covered. So after that 3 months, my mom took me home. And at about 6 months old, they noticed that my eyes had like a glossy look to it. They took me back, and then they were told that I was blind. So apparently the light in the incubator burnt out all the oxygen in my eyes. So I have like retinal detachment. Retinopathy of prematurity.
So you've been blind pretty much all your life then?
Yeah.
But it has not stopped you, Nigel.
Not at all.
It has not stopped you. And that is what I want to get to right now. I mean, I did indicate earlier that you're currently completing your course of study, doing your bachelor's degree in history and political science at the Stone Brook University in Brooklyn, New York. That's big for me. I mean, I'm really, really proud to hear that. And you're also doing music, I suspect. So tell us, how are your studies coming along? And let's get into the musical side of your existence after that.
Well, no, I'm in my third year, so I have let's say 1 more year to go for undergrad, and I want to pursue law, and I'm considering like just going straight to law school, so starting all my applications next year, because I don't want to take a gap year. I feel like if I take a gap year, I might just get a bit lax. So I just want to like jump straight in. And I mean, I can't leave out the music. The show has to go on. The people demand me, so I have to give them.
Of course.
Which is right. So Nigel, I'm curious, how are you looking to balance both, music and a career in law?
It's a good question. The way how I think about it, I mean, it's gonna be hard. I mean, I knew what I signed up for. Like my plan of action going forward is, I don't know if it's the best, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So like go to law school, and I'll still be doing like music on the side, like making, let's say, appearances here and there, big shows, big festivals, but like limit like touring. I don't think I would start touring immediately.
Okay.
Just to focus on the studies at hand, the academics. And then when I knock the degree out now, and I get that license to practice, and I can say, yes, the ladies, here I come, all over the world.
Yes,
I'll be stopping by. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's my plan of action going forward.
Yeah, man, respect. Now, speaking on the music, talk to us about your singles, Superwoman and You and I. I'm seeing that Superwoman was dedicated to your mom?
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I actually wrote that one in my freshman college dorm room, I believe. It was Mother's Day, and I think it was a Sunday too. I just sat down at my desk and I just started reflecting on all the experiences I've been through with her, all I've seen her go through, for me especially, but also for my younger siblings. I've seen her put in a lot of work. She's sacrificed a lot, and I just had to write. Like, the words came to mind, I just had to write, and the melody came to me. I put everything together, and this song just came out.
Wow, man. Wow, I can hear the passion already in your voice. Oddly, say you can touch piece like that. I can hear it. Come on, hear how this sound, you know. This is Superwoman by Nigel Hector Jr.
Oh, this is a beautiful song. Nigel, this is a hit song, son.
Thank you.
I love it. We all do, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
It's called Superwoman, and it's really a beautiful song. Do you play any instrument, by the way?
Yeah, I play the drums and the saxophone.
Okay.
And I've been fiddling with the piano, but as of late, I've been getting demands that I should like really pick the instrument up.
Yes.
So I'm gonna venture out into that as well and see how far I can go.
Yeah, you have your tentacles in many different areas, but you're reaping success in all of them, it seems.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. One of the things I want to get to before we allow you to go, though, is because I know other persons out there listening might have similar challenges like you. What are some of those challenges that you might face? And, based on you being visually impaired, and how are you overcoming them?
I mean, like personally speaking, yes, there are challenges out there. But there's always another avenue that you can take to combat, to reroute whatever challenges you're facing. That's how I look at it. So I really don't let anything get me down. Let's say, for example, the other day I was talking to some people and they were like, "How do you take the train?" And I mean, my response was, you don't have the eyes, but the rest of the body moves. It still works. You still have the rest of the senses to use. I use the ground, the feeling of the ground underneath my feet to like tell me where I'm going. I use the grass as a shoreline to keep me on course. Let me see. I mean, on the trains, you could count the stops because it doesn't change.
Okay.
Or some trains, they have like a automated system that tells you what stop you're coming off. So you just pay attention to that. You just create a mental map in your head.
Yeah.
And you follow that map to the letter. And if you veer off course, then you'll know because that's not registered. So that's just an example. So there's always a way to deal with challenges, issues. For example, in the intro, you mentioned Dexter Daps. When he reached out to me on Instagram,
yes,
it's a funny backstory. So he reached out to me on Instagram and he was like, "Bad singer, I mean, I wear the page for you, but bless up." And I responded to him.
Yes,
I was shocked, but I responded to him like split second later, and I was like, "Respect to the highest level of my G." And his response was like, "Wait, who's this?" And I told him, "Yeah, man, I'm here on a Nigel. I'm here on the page." And he didn't know. So he was like, "Really? Seriously? How?" And I was explaining to him that these phones nowadays, they have they're equipped with speech feature. It differs from iPhone to Android, but they're equipped with speech features, and basically you turn those on, and whatever you touch on the screen, it tells you. So when I type, I'm hearing everything I do. When a message comes in, I hear the message that comes in. So I'm not missing anything. So there's always
a way around these challenges. Yeah. I actually saw a snippet, coming to think of it, of yourself and Dexter in performance, because I think he actually called you up on one of his sets, right? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Great stuff, man. You're an inspiration to many people right now, including ourselves here in the studio. Proud of what you've been able to achieve, and I suspect greater is ahead. Congratulations, my brother, and all the very best. All right?
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Where can people find you on social media?
They can find me on Instagram at Nigy Boy Again. That's Nigy Boy Again. And I'm over on TikTok as well at Nigy_Boy Again. So those are my two main social media platforms.
Nigy Boy Again. All right. I got it. Take care, Nigel and Hector Jr. Proud of you, son. All the best. You hear?
Thank you.
All right. What an inspiration.
Powerful.